Hi everyone. So today I want to do a teardown of Deepgram's website, Deepgram's homepage. Annie from my team shared it with me a few days back. I took a look and I absolutely loved it, so figured I'd record a video about it. Um, cool. So right off the bat, I see this visual and I think this visual is fantastic. It's a really good approach when you are marketing, or like when you're marketing an API product. I think this way of showing it is really good. Now, so what happens? So first, it starts with that starts with the audio file, right? So that's the input. Like, there's an audio file that's the input to the API. Then it shows code, a few different SDKs, but how it feels in one of them, and then the output, transcript, summary, topics, and then it puts it all together in that layered visualizations. All right. So again, we have the audio, code, output, and finally we put it all together in that layered visual. So what happens with that visual is, like, it makes it clear that it's the one, it's one product, just three layers of it, three views of it, so to speak, right? So I think this is a fantastic way to communicate what a product does. Great job, super. Now, then let's go to the copy and talk about that. So we start with, like, build voice AI into your apps. I think that's great. You say what it does. So yeah, like, if you want to build voice AIs, then like, that's how you can build it. So I like it. It sets the tone, context, what it does, plain language, great. Then it goes to specifics. So we have Deepgram's voice AI platform provides APIs for speech to text, text to speech, and language understanding. So we have, first off, I know it's an API, product or set of APIs, and there is a platform, multiple different features, multiple different products. So in this case, we have speech to text, text to speech, and language understanding being those products. Yeah, I mean, clear. I understand. I know what it is. Great. Then we have from medical transcription to autonomous agents. So that speaks to the core use cases, I presume, that they have. Yeah, that sounds fair if those are the core use cases. If you had, sort of like the most prevalent ones, or the ones that you wanted to highlight, I definitely, go for something like that here. And then Deepgram is the go-to choice for developers of voice AI experiences. Yeah, again, make sure you say that it's for developers, and developers of what? Voice AI experiences. I like it. I think it's a solid copy here. Then let's look at the CTAs, and CTAs, try for free, and is a classic, obviously. Like, sign up, start building, stuff like that. And then we have book a demo, which I don't like as much on a developer first website. In here, just because this, like, you want to focus on the developer first, and then and not the buyer. Comes later. First it's the developer. And I think when you have this prime real estate in here, you want to use it better for something that is more focused, would get more clicks from the developer. You can always have that, information that there is a demo, or that you can can be contacted here, and you get a demo. Could be contact us as well, or something like that. And then lower on the page, when it's a bit more buyer centric part of the page, you can speak. You can have that CTA. That's a better CTA then. But right here, I'd focus on the developer focused CTA. Right. So yeah, and what could that be? So we have try for free, and now that I see this is actually a playground, which is interesting, right? Because then that playground is something that I would market as a playground, right? I talk about this being a playground, right? So we see that, and it's a great playground, by the way. It's a fantastic one, right? Because I can choose the features. I saw it before, but I can choose the features. I can just use a file, either my file or their file. Then I run it. I get the result, and I see that with all of that in here in that playground. I think this is a fantastic piece of work that basically showcases the product, shows me how it feels, how the SDK would feel, everything. I think this is great. It's a fantastic piece of fantastic playground, and I'd want to make sure that people know it. The problem with saying it's try for free is, I don't know, like I thought it was a sign up. I thought it was like start building, sign up, maybe a trial. So if I see this as a trial and I'm not ready for the trial yet, oftentimes I would be ready to test it out, to play with the playground. And so if you have a playground like that, so it's such a great playground as well, I'd go for launch a playground. So sign up or start building and then launch a playground, so that people, you get more clicks and more people to that playground, which I presume is converting really, really well. Another element here, this, when you have an important launch or a company conference, you want to put it somewhere on the homepage and make it prevalent. And sometimes you can do it as a hello bar above, but I actually like this approach of having it right above the header, below the navbar. So it's, it's super prevalent, but it isn't breaking the flow. It doesn't break the flow of conversation with the reader. So I think this is good. Then we have social proof. I really like this element, that progress bar that catches my attention, brings my eyes to this. And they show 3 different groups of users, of customers. We have enterprises, so it's clear that it is for enterprises, and there are big names here, so a lot of respect right away. Then conversational AI leaders, which sort of sets the tone for who this is for as well, I think. And then startups, cool. If startups are important for you, then mentioning it is not a bad idea either. So I think this is a really cool element. Then we go to the first product section, and that section is amazing. So we have try Deepgram API, play around with human-like voice AI, or transcribe some audio files, explore how our audio understanding models work. So yeah, like I know what it is. I can put my text and generate audio for it, and then
Developer maker says hi.
I think this is
Developer
fantastic.
maker says hi.
And then I can, I like this pattern of me being able to either put it in or use something that is already there. I can explore those other features where I have an audio file here and the transcript for it. And then for this, it showcases those different features of that AI intelligence, right? You do summarization, sentiment, topic detection in that audio that you send. So fantastic piece of work. I love this. And now, okay, the thing that okay, so now we have learn more here. For some reason, okay, we have try your audio files here, and then no learn more. So it's learn more is only for the text to speech part, which is weird. If you have it, and I have it for all of them, but perhaps just drop it. But I would want to have something like learn more, so that takes me to the docs. Let's say let's see where it takes me. So this one takes me to the landing page for that particular product page, right? For that product, for text to speech. It looks similar to what it was before, but maybe gives me a little bit more context. So perhaps it makes sense to send people here. What I would test out or think about is sending people to the docs tutorial for that particular feature. That's what I do if I had that element in there. Okay, right. Let's go further. And then we have voice AI foundation, speech to text, text to speech, audio intelligence models for developers, unlock actionable insights and real-time results from your voice data. And so we have text to speech, speech to text, audio intelligence, and free API playground. So I really don't like this section. I don't understand it. It feels like a complete duplication of what we had here. And here you landed the message of like what it is, what it does, how it feels. Great. Let me explore more. And the worst part about this section is that the free API playground got buried. And this is amazing, the API playground. So, but I see duplication, so I don't notice it, right? Like I see this and I may leave, right? Or go further, right? Because I just don't see it. So I would take it out from this section, have it as a separate, section right here. And you let me explore it more, play in the playground and feel how the product feels or something like that, but just like really showcase this product, because this is a beautiful piece of work and I'm sure it converts really well because it lends the message, right? So I'd have that right below it so that people can explore it more with their files and stuff like that. So I would definitely do that. Okay, and then we go to unbeatable value and much performance. So that feels very enterprisey. Extract the most value with speech to text and language. There's some visual that I don't really get. Accurate, faster, cheaper. Okay, so I mean, all right, all right, so it's it speaks to ROI, right? So we have the 30%, 3 to 5x cheaper, 40x faster. So yeah, like stuff that feels mostly enterprisey. I'd say not necessarily, not only, but like it's ROI stuff, right? So it speaks to the buyer persona mostly, not to the dev, to the developer experience, etc. And then we have the trust by startups and enterprises, and then testimonials in here. So I tell you what. So for me, something that is missing, and I'm going to get to that enterprise section in a minute, but like something that's missing is sort of the community part to it, right? And when I see it here, I see that there is like join a community, so I can join a community, and then I see a lot of testimonials. So that could be framed as a community part, right? So for devs, community is obviously important because like they know that they can ask other devs, there's support, they can ask them questions and figure out, the problems they have when they're using your API. And showcasing it plays an additional sort of conversion role, because like there's an obstacle, like do others like me use it, right? Do other devs like me use it? And so if you can have that social proof in here, I go for it, but I focus on first on that devy part of it, right? So company that does it well is let me just take this here. I have that example is Model. And Modo has that section that is basically join Modo's developer community, link to Slack, and then those testimonials that feel like a sort of like social posts, right? That gives additional value to it. So I would do something similar here. I think, like I definitely have the wall of love built from those testimonials and join a community. Right below probably the free API playground, that I have right below it. Because when I got excited, I want to try more. I want to go deeper. But then if I'm not convinced yet, then the community is something that can definitely convince people that this is something that others are using. So we want to have it there. And now it's buried in the enterprise section, right? Where potentially you missed the opportunity to convince the dev with your community. Cool. So we have the playground, we have the community, and then we would have enterprise. So before we go to enterprise, there's one more section that I think the dev to website, should have, or at least should address that problem. So basically what? I'm going through this, I got interested, I see that there is a community. What's the next question I'm going to have? Does it work with my stack, right? Does it work with my stack? So what you want to do is show that it works with this and that SDK, that if I'm a Java dev, it works with me. If it that's that, then it works with me. If I'm Python dev, it works with me. So like you want to show that, and it gives you an additional option to show off that developer experience. If like, because you can show the logos and just show that it works with every tool, blah, blah, blah. Cool. That lends the message of, of working with my tool, but there's a better way. And just to give you an example, Maily Search does it. So Maily Search, what they do is they have this section, right, which basically shows there is you have those different SDKs, code for it, and then a button for that particular tutorial. I can go to that integration and see and start from there, or see all integrations. And what it does is it basically, convinces me to use it. I can feel how the SDK feels, etc. And the next step is clear. I can, start with my SDK, my language, and I can start building. But it also drives the message of it works with my stack, right? So I think I'd have it right after the community. And then for the enterprise section, I focus on this being an enterprise section, right? So when we talk enterprise is mostly about trust, about the security, about all of those compliance, HIPAA, GDPR, SOC 2s. Do big companies use it? Are there big case studies? Are like, does it work at a huge scale? What's the size of the how many customers you have, or stuff like that, like stuff that builds trust, right? So that's what I would suggest focusing on in the enterprise section. So, we have ROI, which is great. That's another thing, ROI. So I have the ROI. I'd probably have maybe some of those, certifications, perhaps definitely big logos and a big testimonial from a big enterprise if you have it. If you have a case study, then I have that. Link to, like, see other case studies. Let's check, what's happening here. Yeah, like there are a bunch of them. So probably just like sending people here. So see all case studies would also work there. Okay. Right. And then and yeah, and an example of how that is done nicely. Oh no, not Modo, Mongo. So what Mongo does is they, like you have okay, it loads pretty slow for some reason. Okay, but you speak to dev in the dark mode, dev functionality, blah blah, and then it switches to white mode or light mode and shows the loved by developers, trusted by enterprises. I mean, I think this is actually something that could be used on pretty much any website. And then you go, you show the ROIs, you show the case studies, big quote from those big companies, and you can also go to see all other customer stories, right? So in this section you could also go into those securities and stuff like that. I mean, obviously for Mongo it's expected that they have it, but for a smaller or earlier smaller startup, earlier startup, it's not so clear, right? So having that makes sense, because those would maybe the questions that people have. Right, so we'd have that, and then obviously for that section, for the enterprise section, you may want to have the you want to have a book demo. But since this is the last section, then you have a book demo in a footer. So I just think I just leave it like that, or maybe I'll have a book demo there, but I think it doesn't make sense because it's right here. Right, so yeah, like you can visually change it. Going wide is interesting approach, but you don't have to do it like that. But it could be some sort of like a visual division that makes it clear that this now speaks to that buyer persona, right? And builds trust within that buyer persona. It also builds trust with the dev, who's on the side, and they explore it, they get interested, they like it, but they're not, maybe sure if it's enterprise ready or something like that. And then you have that section, so it's clear that they can send their boss here, and they will be convinced that it works. Right, so I think about that. Okay, cool. So overall, fantastic website. I like, the brand is great. How it's communicated is great. So a lot of the things are fantastic. Things I change is, starting with this, I change, the CTAs have launch playground and then start building, or try for free, which is actually a trial. And by the way, try for free is a trial because if I go to pricing, it seems that there is a credit, so I can, this is sort of like for testing, right? So I can try for free. It's not, something that I have for, on a monthly, that I can do. So it is try for free. So, but I would have it, and then I have launch a playground as a secondary. So this would take me to the sign up, and then this would take me to launch a playground. Then here, fantastic section there, I'd have that API, free API playground here. I take some of those testimonials and combine them with the join the community part below this. I have the integration section below that, and then enterprise section that focuses on that trust, at the bottom. And then we have that CTA that goes to sign up and book a demo. And yeah, and I think that should make the site even better. Even though I think this is just fantastic. So yeah, thanks a lot. And yeah, if you like that, if you would like me to do a teardown of your site, yeah, send it over. Or if there's some other developer marketing program that you'd like me to take a look at, like socials or ads or blog or stuff like that, let me know. I'd be happy to look into that. I also do sort of like deeper dives. So yeah, you can reach out, and I do those deeper dives, and send over bigger audit and a video like that to you. Okay, so thanks a lot, and yeah, see you next time.